What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and the series premiere of Superman and Lois dominated in the ratings last night, and for good reason. It is a breath of fresh air for the CW, and it was sorely needing something like this in the Arrowverse. Something that is just based on these characters that we love, and the focus is on the story, instead of any of the other virtue signaling or identity politics that we can associate with some of these shows. And I gotta be honest, I read the pilot for this episode. Someone sent me the script quite a while ago, so I already had an idea of exactly what it would be about. I saw the trailer. I did a reaction to the trailer on my main channel. If you're not subscribed to my main channel, go check out the link in the pinned comment below. And I said, listen, this looks good. This actually looks like something that I could really enjoy on the CW, and the first episode really didn't let me down. Now, I do think that Taylor Hoechlin, when away from Supergirl, is a really good Superman, to be quite honest with you. I kind of despised his Superman in the Supergirl series because his only purpose in there was to show just how good Supergirl was, just how much better she is than him. That's essentially his primary purpose. That is not what Superman should be utilized for. But what they did in this show, in this episode specifically, I did really enjoy, and I think the vast majority of people did as well. And before we even get into the story, until we get into the ratings, anything like that, I did just want to say, I see a lot of people out there trying to take shots at one side or the other based on Henry Cavill's Superman or this Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. Listen, you can enjoy both of these things. The people that want to make you pick a side, or like, this is the true Superman, this is the only Superman you can enjoy, those people are insane. You can like both iterations of these characters. For years, us as comic book fans have bought not only Batman, but also Detective Comics, and also all of these other Elseworld stories in which you have different iterations of Batman. That doesn't mean that if there's anything other than your favorite that you can't enjoy it. You can enjoy so many different interpretations of these characters, and I think both of them have their place. With that being said, let's get to the ratings, because it was absolutely ridiculous. The early numbers are in for Superman and Lois, as the ratings are sky high for both the 90-minute premiere episode and the 30-minute special that followed. According to the preliminary ratings, 1.708 million people tuned in for the premiere. The special saw the same 0.3 rating with 1.5 million viewers. I will say I wasn't a huge fan of his actual suit. They went through a couple suit iterations during flashbacks. I hope we get to see more of that in this series. But I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of his main suit. It just fits him a little strange. It just looks a little bulky on him. But that's a small critique. The numbers have absolutely blown away Supergirl, which airs on Sundays and saw an average of only 650,000 viewers in Season 5. And of course, that show is canceled. Season 6 will be its last. And we know the story with Batwoman. When you compare the Superman and Lois ratings to what we saw with Batwoman Season 2, it is absolutely embarrassing. Fell under 500,000 viewers in episode 5. But again, that's because it's not focused on characters and their stories and the comic book lore. Instead, it's focused on identity politics. And so far in this show, especially with this premiere, Superman and Lois is not. It is really focused on the story. And to me, even when I read the pilot and when I saw the trailer, it reminded me a lot of Superman Rebirth, where they would focus a lot on the relationship between Clark and his son Jonathan. Now, in this one, it's a little different. You have Clark and Lois, who have decided to move to Smallville, but also with their children involved. In high school age, you have Jonathan, but you also have Jordan. And we are going to get a little bit into spoiler territory, so if you don't want to be spoiled, maybe fast forward a little bit after this. But when you talk about the children, I'm a little skeptical of it. Not just because there's an additional child, but because I was worried about what they were going to try to do. You have Jonathan, who is the very stereotypical high school jock, captain of the football team, macho kid, all of these things. But he's not going to be the one to get powers, at least not initially. It is Jordan, the outsider, the loner, the kid who's on meds, social anxiety, kind of a loser, right? But he's going to get the powers. I'm a little bit skeptical of how they might handle that, if they may try to pit them against each other or try to make some kind of allegory about how traditional masculinity isn't right and, this kid got powers even though he's kind of weird. But there didn't really seem to be too much of that yet. They actually do work together well as a team and care about each other and have a an interesting dynamic. So hopefully that'll be good going forward. But when you look at how it was received, so far, critics like it and audiences like it. For the most part, what I've seen the reception of it, people really dig it, especially because to them, they feel like it is the traditional Superman, the very, very early on iterations of Superman. They even have a couple scenes, specifically this scene in the beginning of him coming down and saving someone, by smashing this car out of the way, and people couldn't help but make the comparisons between that and Action Comics #1. Really cool throwback that a lot of people enjoyed. But to me, again, I'll say that there can be so many different iterations of Superman, and you can enjoy all of them, and you don't have to feel bad about it. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I can't wait for Zack Snyder's Justice League, but that doesn't mean that I can't also enjoy this iteration. But it is very obvious with the audience rating, with the fact that it had such high ratings in general, I do think a lot of people are enjoying it. And you can see here, you have Jordan and Jonathan, and then, of course, Lois right there. Now, moving forward with this show, a couple interesting things to take note of. They did introduce the villain right away. He was kind of unknown at first, but they revealed right at the end of this episode that his name is Captain Luthor. But we already have a Lex Luthor in the Arrowverse. He is not black. Spoiler, this Lex Luthor is black. I imagine they're going to have him be from another multiverse, and also he's going to have a very different origin story because he said, I know all about my world being destroyed, something to that effect. So maybe this is a Lex from a different multiverse in which maybe Superman destroyed Earth, maybe Superman had a role in the destruction of Earth. Who knows? We're going to find out a lot more, but it's definitely a Lex from a different multiverse. The fact that they did decide to make him black, I know a lot of people are probably going to have things to say about that, but we do have in the multiverse different iterations of different characters. Like you have Black Superman, you have Calvin Ellis, right, who is Superman, a black Superman on Not Earth Prime. So you have these things. That is a thing that happens in DC Comics. That is a thing that happens in the multiverse. So interested to see how it plays out. Some of the things I wonder going forward, will it be kind of Lois dominating the relationship? I don't think so. I think they had a pretty good balance in this. But again, it's CW and it's the Arrowverse. So people are instinctually going to be looking for these things. All in all, I think there's a lot to be skeptical about the team creating this show, but at the same time, I think the pilot was a great success, and I'm looking forward to the next episode, which is something I haven't said for a CW show in quite a long time. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. Did you watch it? What do you think about it? Are you looking forward to the next iteration of Superman and Lois coming out next week? Let me know. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.